What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into the Astonishing Iceman, issue number 2. After Bobby Drake was apparently killed by Orcus at the Hellfire Gala, the inhuman empath known as Romeo, he used his powers to reform Iceman's scattered consciousness and body, building an ice palace in Antarctica that now serves as his home base. But as Orcus' mission to banish mutants from Earth continues on, Bobby is doing everything he can to protect the innocent across the globe. But now Orcus is trying to draw Bobby out. They are becoming more desperate, and they have deployed Helium, the unfreezable man, and his elements of doom. They are attacking Bobby's hometown, and our Omega level mutant is gonna have something to say. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so we are picking up at Fort Washington, Long Island. This is years ago. We have Bobby, who is currently freezing Rocky. He had done this to save Judy's life. But instead of Judy being thankful, she only sees a freak. She sees a mutant. And so it didn't take long for people to gather outside their home, telling Mr. Drake that they have no issue with him, they only want his son. With the bat in hand, Mr. Drake says that you are not getting my son. If you want him, you must go through me. And so they break the door down. What we are shown is that this town was never accepting of him. They saw him nothing more than a monstrosity, than a mutant. That's what picks us up in present day, with Helium having Mrs. Drake in his grasp, him and his Sapien League soldiers, the elements of death. They will be Iceman's executioner. Helium goes on to say that you people unleashed Iceman on all of us, on decent humans, that they could have stopped him, but they didn't. Now the townspeople, they don't care for Iceman, and Mrs. Drake is saying that I guess the Sapien League didn't hire you for your brains, because no one in this town sheltered him. All of them tried to kill him, but the way the unfreezable man sees it, they didn't try hard enough. As we are taken to Antarctica, with Romeo and Bobby really just keeping warm in this coldness, they get an alert, a new spike, as they head off to the war room. Romeo is letting us know that emotional fronts cover Earth like weather. Fear, hate, panic, he senses the spikes. The war room helps him focus his power so that he can track them. And this one is coming from Long Island. This is where he grew up. And if he knows that, so does Orcus. And Bobby says that those people, they ran him out of town. Now that his father is gone, his mother is still there. Orcus may be dying to lure him in. He may be their primary target. It may be a trap, but Bobby doesn't care. When he saw what he was, he had nobody. Someone in that town right now could be feeling the same way that he once did. And so if there's a trap, he's gonna put it on ice. With Bobby taken off, we pick up at Fort Washington, with the Element Militia laying waste to the neighbors, flooding their town hall with poison, igniting the schools. Lost children don't bother them. Their compassion was cut in a recent upgrade, along with a fiery need to protect humans from mutants and their allies. And so if Iceman doesn't show himself, the entire town is going to be killed. Such is the penalty for aiding and abetting a mutant in his crib. This is where we have the arrival of Iceman, showing up to the school at first. He puts out any flames that are here. He quickly sees that these guys are synthetics. This is when Bobby heads over to the mayor currently dealing with Mercury. The mayor who just so happens to be Rocky, telling Mercury that you hate mutants, so do it right. Do it like the good guys, do it like Orcus. This is where Bobby shows up and tells him like, dude, these guys are Orcus. And Rocky is a little bit mad, saying that these freak robots are only after them because of him, because he is a big fugitive, that if he surrendered to Orcus, all of this would stop. But Iceman tells him that the Sapien Leagues, they're dead, that this is all a cover story and he is eating it up. Hostages, threats, ransoms. This is all Orcus. This is what they do. But Rocky refuses to believe this, that they would never allow this. Iceman telling him like, right, good talk, a talk so good that it makes me really want to save your town. This is where Bobby manifests dozens and dozens of snowmen. Taking care of all of this, he heads over to the Helium Man. Helium immediately attacks. And in this attack, we see the arm of Iceman completely shatter, telling his mom not to worry because he has this. We see a ninja star formed out of ice. As it flies through the air, it lands right in the head of Helium. But Helium just laughs at him, saying that he doesn't freeze, and that he will die right here along with all the humans that harbored him. We see Iceman punch the ground. In doing so, ice begins to form around Helium. As it freezes him in place, Helium quickly breaks free, laughing it off, saying that he can't be frozen, that he is the Achilles heel to Iceman, that Helium is beyond your reach, that Iceman could never touch him, but Helium can shatter him like glass. Bobby telling him that you can hurt me, but you cannot beat me. As Bobby forms a giant piece of ice, we see it begin to propel Helium right up into the atmosphere. Bobby is taking him all the way up to the low orbit. Back at home, Romeo is currently struggling to keep him together. That Bobby is wearing himself too thin. He can feel Bobby coming apart. He can see it. He is sealing the cracks the best he can, calming the stresses anytime they appear. But if he falls apart before this ends, everybody dies. Helium screaming, saying that Director Devo won't stop until you are all dead. This only confirms that this guy is in fact working for Orcus. Having the information that he needs, he goes ahead and he leaves Helium up here, frozen out in space, floating into the nothingness of the void, and Bobby returning back down to Earth. This is where he is greeted by his mother saying that they are calling you dangerous, they are calling you a terrorist, but she knows that is not her son. They may have had their ups and downs over the years, but she cares. She never stopped, and she needs to know that Bobby knows that. Orcus can lie all they want, but she knows her son. If people here want to believe the news, she is fine with that, but she will never listen. She tells Bobby that she should have reached out after his father died, but she is now. She sees the news. She knows that Bobby is out there helping people, and she could never be more proud. Embracing her son, this is when he falls apart. The winds take him away, and he heads back to Antarctica, with Romeo being able to manifest him and bring him back right in front of him. The day has been won. Bobby is back with the man that he loves. And as we hop over to the Bloom, we learn that they are leaving Helium up where he is. They are gonna let him rot in orbit. Right now, they are putting a call out to the Cleaner. And the Cleaner right now is dissecting an Inhuman, telling the Inhuman that I get it. You feel safe because you're not mutant after all. But Orcus doesn't want you. Eventually, they'll run out of mutants. And when they do, the Inhumans will be the next target. But the Cleaner is being called to deal with Iceman. The Cleaner says that Drake's a dead end. Kill his body, sure, but his mind doesn't die. Or at least, so they thought. After their last thermal scan showing supercooled air exiting Long Island, before becoming so dispersed that they couldn't track it, they cross-referenced this with previous data. This end is not dead. He doesn't disappear into nothing. His mind goes somewhere. Iceman has a home, and they are calling in the Cleaner to burn it down. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Another great and fun issue coming from the Astonishing Iceman, going back home and rescuing those he loves. Seeing that moment with his mother was absolutely beautiful. The town may despise him, but that doesn't change the fact that he is a hero, that he will come and save them no matter what they have done to him. But now we must wonder, how long can they keep this going? How long can Romeo continuously do this? It's also worth noting that the Cleaner is killing an Inhuman, and it is very interesting because Orcus doesn't have their sights on Inhumans at the current time. But like he said, once this is all done and said with the mutants, if they have the possibility, if they have the capability of taking out all mutants, their eyes will then turn on the Inhumans. How long before they start targeting superheroes? How long before they begin targeting anybody that could be considered super? Anybody with abilities, anybody with any unique power. It's so insane how blind the world is. Nobody sees the true danger that lies before them. They sit in their complacency. They listen to anything they are told and they call it fact. All the while, the genocide, it surrounds them. They close their eyes, they plug their ears. Because a regular, average day human, they fear what they do not understand. And that which we fear, we try to kill. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that has been going on with Iceman, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything going on with Bobby Drake. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.